Stop it now, let's go now. Block it. Go like this. Take it empty. Block it empty. Stop it now, let's go now. Block it. Go like this. Take it empty. Block it empty. Stop it now, let's go now. Block it. Go like this. Take it empty. Block it empty. Stop it now, let's go now. Block it. Go like this. Take it empty. Block it empty. Stop it now, let's go now. Block it. Go like this. Take it empty. Block it empty. Maman a de la IPCA, le maquis chez AD, la plus belle. Tout qui d'Ali, mon Dieu Seigneur, à maman ça. Voyez, Rachel de Kibo, chez AD. On va venir y gogo, n'y a pas bagnon, n'y a pas pas. Avec gogo, n'y a Stéphane Soko, on va brûler, nanana, on va brûler la photo, Nyaliba, Stéphane Soko, ya pour la plave, aïe, Godo, Nyaliba, Amana, Vere, Kasawa, Amana, Vere, Titi, Papa, Vere, Sassi, Peke, alors, il est vaillant, il est si que dans mon pareil, si il est là, play, oui, elle est là, Godo, Nyaliba, allez, vaillant, pour la plave, hey, Taba zinde nyoro alena velini baka. Taba zinde ruo alena velini. Waye alena yuya kolokabo. Abile modo nyali. Yozo made jogure. Pablo ayo. Ade wa ba bele wa sawake. Wa ba be. Abawo mabani. Tu n'es pas conscient, moi je suis conscient. Asaka.
Good evening, folks. Sam Sinto, LIBERIA Public Radio. I think we're going to have some video issue here. Nelson To, welcome, my son. I appreciate it. You tuning in late this evening. Sorry I missed your call yesterday, but I'll call you as soon as the show is over, my son. I love you. You know I love you. Okay, let's get it going. I want to thank all of you again for tuning in. Whenever the video gets stuck, just stay with us. And we're trying to fix it. We're working on it, but these are technology. You don't rush to them. I want to thank all of you again this evening for joining us. We say thank you very much, folks. Friday evening, and it's very important that we speak safety a little bit. Folks, if you don't have to be anywhere tonight, please stay with us on LIBERIA Public Radio and let's have fun together. Another thing I want to say is safety. Don't drink and drive. Those things, they don't mix. Because you can have some serious issue. One way or the other, you can have some serious issue. If everything goes well, next day you got a headache. And why even bother about that? You want to drink, enjoy yourself a little bit, just take a sip. They will still wind you down. You don't have to go overboard. And and then you try to drive, you hurt people or people hurt you, what have you. You don't want to go through that. We love you. You can call us names, we still love you. You cuss up, we still love you. People love you. And that's the point that I want you to get across. Every one of us has been loved by someone else. So you can't just throw yourself and say, well, I'm alone. No, you're not. There are people that are connected to you. And that's why we will continue to preach this. Peace. And I say, same time, tell you, please, whatever you do, stay safe. I hope by now that you have winterized your car. Make sure your tires, because you're coming from the summer going to snow now, so you have to change your tire to snow tires. And those of you that perhaps have dual tires that will do both, what you need to do is take your car, or even take a penny. If 1 cent, they can. What's his name? I don't use penny that much. So what's his name? Abraham Lincoln. When you stick the penny in one of those threads, and the head is sticking out, it's time to change your tire. You can't hold nothing. So those are the safety tips this afternoon. I don't have much to say on that one. I want to welcome all of you and thank you very much. Today is a very special day for one of my love. That is Madam K. And I tried this show tonight is going to be twofold. One is strictly on the issue of Liberia, and the other one strictly family. We're all family. So let me get the Madam K stuff out of the way. It will take me about 15 minutes or so, and then I'll jump back on to the issue of what is happening in Liberia. There's lots and lots of stuff is happening in Liberia. We have to be careful. Good news mixing with bad news. We have to be careful. Liberia is a country. It can only be stretched to so many places. You can't. Sooner or later, it's going to bend and it's going to break. We don't want that. But I'll come back to that. Folks, Sam Sinto, LIBERIA Public Radio, I want to thank all of you again for joining us. We say thank you very much. And we'll come back to do the normal show. But for now, let's do this. Let's look at this beautiful lady, folks. After this, and I have things to say about these ladies. There are three of them. And I will talk about them. And I'm hoping that they're watching. But if they're not watching, somebody will tell them. And they will call me tomorrow and tell me, say, don't come back to my house again. But in the meantime, Mother K, we say happy birthday, lady. Thank you very much for all that you have done for us in this family. Thank you. Let's listen, folks.
To join the people wey be don stay. no sada Yahweh. Sondo no wado kuwae Buya pato pambo Ao Sondo kwa pambido Buya do wado kusale Buya pato pambo Ao Sondo kwa pambido Sondo no wado kulawae Buya pato pambo Ao Sondo kwa pambido Buya do wado kulawae Buya pato pambo Ao Sondo kwa pambido Sondo no wado kusale Buya pato pambo Ao Sondo kwa pambido Sweat como ni mayasia Buwa ya kakatoto Akatambo la papiola Manu kabio Mama kiwe mo Yaona son terebe Yikane solo Yago inyo piewae Aw Daniel Zababoe Babo Fangao Bobwa Wabo Uba Yada Ugo Polo Kakatono Paratue Buya Paratue Paratue Buya Paratue Paratue Buya Paratue Paratue Buya Paratue Paratue Buya Paratue
Yeah, you have it, folks. Samson Toll, LeBron Public Radio. What the heck is this? Come on, Mr. Toll, what are you doing? Here we go. Here we go. Samson Toll. Folks, I'm not stupid. That's one thing for sure. These are ladies that when I go to the houses, they give me good food to eat. I got to do that. Let me show you something else. Let me show you something else. Folks, on a very serious note. These three ladies, Martha K, Lucy K, and Comfort Toll. They're married to my older brothers. They are the wives of my older brothers. And I just want to say here, they come into the family because of who? Samson Toll. The those days before you come marry into the family, you got to find somebody who handsome. To say, okay, I go home for my husband, but the other one handsome too. So all three of them, they look at me and say, yes, he's handsome man. So we'll come to him. They married my brothers. But because of who? Samson Toll. I was part of, when they were paying dowry, I was part of the deal. And to my parents said, okay, you're coming, we'll pay your last because the handsome man is here. I better stop right now. Because if I go to this lady's house and they hear this message, most of the time I go to Martha place, I go to Lucy place because Comfort is way there in Dakota area. But when I go to these two ladies' places, they're in the Bay Area, they usually prepare good food for me. Even though I do a lot of work, but they prepare good food for me. And I better make sure I don't come by and say, put my foot in my mouth. But as far as Comfort is concerned, true story. So back in the 70s or whatever, 80s or whatever it was, Comfort went home, and for some reason, she went to Gate Town. Gate Town is behind Select Town over there. So for some reason, they decided they want to keep her. The parent want to keep her away from my brother. I said, what? I Samson Toll from Toll Town. I must stay here, and then they keep my brother. Why it ain't happening? I went to Gate Town. True story. Ask the people. They will tell you. I went to Gate Town. I said, what Comfort? They said she's on the farm. I said, I'm going to the farm. I went on the farm. Early, very early in the morning. The Gate Town people said, what? Who they want here? They said, that sounds Toll. Yeah. Oh, babe, let him go get one more. I went to the farm. I said, Madam, I'm here for you. Right now, I trying to plan right. I say, we finish paying for your dowry. I say, I'm here for you. Then you say, what? Let's go. I took her from Gate Town, brought her back to my brother, and the rest is history. They got kids. They're all happy. Samson Toll. These are things that I used to do. I thought I'd throw it out there this afternoon, folks. Again, let me just go ahead and play Mata K, Samson to say happy birthday, and the whole family, your husband, everybody, your brother-in-laws, everybody say happy birthday, lady. And we truly, truly, truly appreciate all that you have done in this family. You know what? You're one of the backbone of this family. All of you ladies are the backbone of this family. And we really, really appreciate it. And thank you very much. Giving us some beautiful, beautiful girls, ladies, educated, smart guys. I mean, you guys continue to blast. I mean, give the Toe family, the K family, you guys making it bigger, giving us wonderful, wonderful children that they're doing well right now. The name is going. And we say thank you. All of you ladies, thank you very much. We appreciate it. We truly, truly appreciate it. I come by here, I make big muff and things like that. But to be honest with you, we're counting on you guys. And without you guys, this family most likely would not have been somewhere where we are now. But sometimes I just let them make b-boy that. Oh, but there's nothing beyond the b-boy. You all know that one. Samson too. Let me go ahead and play one more birthday stuff for my lady, and then I'll move on, folks. Samson too, La Propaganda. This is what we do here. Sometimes we get into family issue, and then we say, let's go ahead and listen to the Mata K birthday song again. Then we can come out, folks. Again, this is Samson too. I love y'all. When I come to your play again, y'all Google food for me. Y'all wanna kick me out. Thank you, Samson too. Let's listen in.
To join the people who been don't stay for this world before you come home. Anything where you see for this world, whether good or bad, make you take am so. Now so everybody come in the world. We the advice you say. Where you dey walk, make you put your mind there and walk and fine, make you know they talk like, make a yes be yes, you know be no, then you go live well for this world. So God go bless you, give you long, long life, give you many, many birthdays again. So God go bless you, give you long, long life, give you many, many birthdays again. Say thanks to you. Happy birthday to you. You go live long for this. Say thanks to you. We beg God to give happy you many birthday to you. Say thanks to you. Happy birthday to you. We did the born you. Say thanks to you. How many months ago? Happy birthday to you. How many weeks ago? Say thanks to you. How many years ago? Happy birthday to you. You go live long for this world. Mama, hey.
Booyah no sada Yahweh. Osando no wado kuwae. Booyah pato pangobo. Ao. Sando kwa pangido. Booyah do wado kuwae. Booyah pato pangobo. Ao. Sando kwa pangido. Osando no wado kuwae. Booyah pato pangobo. Ao. Sando kwa pangido. Booyah do wado kuwae. Booyah pato pangobo. Ao. Sando kwa pangido. Osando no wado kuwae. Booyah pato pangobo. Ao. Sando kwa pangido. Sweat. Como ni mayasia buwan ya kakatoto akatambo abapioba manu kapio mamara ki webo ya ona son terebe Ikane solo ya go inyobie wae. Aw. Daniel Zabagowe. Bahabo fanga o. Bokwa wo wabe. Ugo yare ugo polo. Kakatono. Aw. Kare tuwe. Buya kare tuwe. 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 Kare tuwe. Buya kare tuwe.
Again, folks, Samson told LeBron Pablo Radio. All I want. Hello? Hello? No, you got the wrong number. Yeah. I was making beam up. I say you got the wrong number. That not Samson told you. That different person. I will call you back. I will call you. Yeah. Please don't call the show. I beg you. Folks, that's one of the ladies. All my big mouth I was making earlier. That's one of the ladies calling me, and I beg you not to call the public radio. And you say you got be more. Again, Samson told like before the first days the one on Friday afternoon. The lady was gonna run a rock with me, and I'm there. Oh, I'll call you back. I said the wrong number. This is what I do. Samson told all over this place, folks. I want to welcome all of you again and say thank you very much. Let's have fun. We do have fun from time to time. That's President Weah, Dr. Weah, that is, President of the Republic of Liberia. Let's go on and play the other stuff where Dr. Weah is during the campaign, and then after that we'll go to the stuff. But I got some serious.
Just make sure you do that same thing for you can hold. Yeah, we hold the stage. No, I don't need show the road. I need my stick. What kind of junior not there before? No, I beg you.
Man, that German is still waiting, Baba. I didn't finish. Salome said, don't done.
There you have it, folks. Samson told LeBron Pub Radio. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Let's step. That's the show here tonight. There are a few things I want to say here about this particular group of people that I put up. First of all, I want to congratulate all of those that were appointed by this president and to serve the people of the Republic of Liberia. I hope they will do the best they can, do the best. Nobody expects you to do miracle, but we expect you to do what you can for our people. Now, one other thing I want to point out here before I go to my main subject here tonight is the firing of the president of LU President Madam Weeks. I'm not too sure whether she was fired because of poor performance or she was fired because this last week or throughout this week we've been hearing rumors that the LU faculties were talking about going slow because of pay issues. So perhaps. And we also read that Representative Gray suggested and made it public that the president of LU should go. So I'm not too sure if that's the reason, but I will look into it. But I think if that's what it is, then it's wrong. unless she, well, the president, every one of those people serve at the pleasure and will of the president. So the president can ask anybody to leave at any time. There's no specific reason. He doesn't even have to give a reason. But human decency compelled all of us to do things that will be, humane. If you want to fire somebody or something, the person you have to have a reason. So but I will look into it and I will talk about that. But once again, I want to congratulate all of those that were appointed to do the people's work. Don't forget, folks, you are there to do the people work. They ask you, and perhaps they saw something in you that they think you can do for the people. It's not Dr. Weir Farm. This is not CDC Farm. This is not CDC country. This is the country for every one of us. But the fact that you guys were asked to come and do a job, I think it's wonderful, because you have the ability. Other than that, I don't believe the government would just, or the president would just pick anybody who do not have the ability to do something because of, come and do it. So I hope that's not the case. And I'm hoping that those who has been asked to do this job would deep inside of themselves and put aside all partisan politics and stuff like that and try to do the best you can do for the country. Because all of the argument, like our own buddy who has his own podcast, Zorizo, has been saying from time to time, this is not all about just individual. We're doing it for the country. And I think all of us argue. All of us that had the podcast from time to time, we argue not for the benefit of individual, but for the benefit of overall all of us as Liberians. So I think once the opportunity is given you, you have to make sure you perform. If you cannot perform for some reason or another, you be truthful and say, I can't do that, I'm going to get out. So don't stick around because he's a friend, or don't stick around because somebody is there watching. So that's what I want to say on this one. I want to once again congratulate those people that was selected, that was appointed, and that's wonderful. And one last thing I want to say on this is that good evening, Mr. Cummings. Thank you very much for joining us. One last thing I want to say on this is that the president, the dismissals of the president, I hope is based purely on reason that is genuine and not because of politics. Because if we do that, she's not going to suffer. Believe me, taking up from LDU position and perhaps in making her life much easier, I would say. She's not going to suffer. She's already have money. I believe so. Okay, so it's not like when you take her out of the position. A few months ago, she was in hot water with LDU students and what have you, and you're taking her out of there. I think you most likely it's like a relief, but it must be done with dignity. That's all that I say. Let me go on to my other show. Let me go on to my other subject matter here tonight, and this one is very important, folks. There's a LU student planning protests today or what have you. I'm not too sure how far that is, but I'm not looking for that right now. What I want to talk about is this. This, folks, LRA staff to go slow starting October 21st. This is not good. To be honest with you, this is not good. Because these are the people that collect revenue for the country. And so you can't have them say they want to go slow on us. This is just not the way to go, folks. We can't have that. We have to be able to encourage these people to do the work because they collect revenue. But let me take that and tie it around somebody else's neck. We got to hold somebody responsible for these kinds of stuff. Not necessarily the president, but I'm holding the Minister of Finance responsible. Because according to this story, these people are planning to go slow because of their pay being reduced through the harmonization process. And this is where I'm holding the Minister of Finance responsible for that, because to have this and have these people coming up and not being able to explain to them exactly what is happening. I'm holding the Minister of Finance, I'm holding him responsible. And here's the reason. We saw the Minister of Finance before. Here's the guy who's the Minister of Finance, and were asked to do a map out. And then at the end, he said, even though he was a captain, but he said he turned it over to them. I'm going to play you a video of the minister. I played that video before. I'm going to play you a video of the minister. The minister has the ability to explain. The minister has the ability to inform. The minister is highly educated. The minister is not dumb. But there are things that somebody think the minister, the other day I was here praising him. You heard my video. So I keep saying this. Even though I'm not a member of CDC, but if anything good come out of CDC, I will be the first to start blowing the trumpet. I don't care who say what name they call me. It doesn't matter. If they're doing something that I like, I will say so. If they do something that I don't like, I will also say so. I'm not going to hide myself. This particular incident about people in LRA going slow on us, these people collect revenue. And the revenue that is being collected help to pay government bills, including salary and everything. It could be nasty. Whatever they call it, humanization, whatever they call it, okay, to harmonize things. On a very serious note, it's not going well because the minister and those who are responsible refuse, and I will use the word refuse, to educate those who are going to be affected. And if you do that, if you refuse to educate those who are going to be affected, this is the result you have. Because they do not have enough information. They do not have enough information. So most of the information they don't have, they fill the gap with rumors. And most of the time, rumors will not be in the favor of the government. Rumors will be against the government because the government cutting people's salary. You don't expect the people to be sinking prices. And the government should have been ahead of this cutting salary business. It should be the song of these people, the minister and everyone else that are connected. Let me play this one video. And then I'm going to play this video to show you that this minister, once he grabs something that he likes, he can publicize it. This was a video that came out the other day about the censor. And the minister promised the guy, because he loved the censors, because they used the number from censors to borrow, to ask for loan, to ask for loan forgiveness, to ask for money from the international partners of Liberia. So he really, really loved the censors, because the censor helped him to explain who need what and what. And so because of that, you could see his enthusiasm in the censor's explanation. Let's play. Samson told LeBron Pablo folks, this is the minister, okay, getting ready to tell the people about the census. But I want you to pay attention how much he embraced the census and how much he's promising that he's going to do all he can to inform those other ministers how important the census is. So basically, the reason I'm playing this video is for you to see that he has the ability to teach. All right, let's watch this. Excuse me. I want you to take from this video is the fact that he has the ability to inform. He has the ability to teach. He has the ability to pass information from one person to another. Let's watch this.
We could, on behalf of the President and the government of the Republic of Liberia, it is wonderful that we have achieved this census milestone, the signing of the census document, which inaugurates the commencement of the census exercise formally. Some time back, several months back, the President commissioned the Census Commission. It had its first sitting, I think, last week. and now we are here doing the signing. But this signing, as other speakers have said, is belated, but belated for a good reason. Because I think all stakeholders around the table are working to ensure that we have this census right. And whether it's financing, it's programming, it's digitization, it has to deliver optimal improvement over the previous census. And I think the census in 2008, which is a great census, has put the country on a trajectory of development. The numbers of those censuses are what we're using in all of our development planning. We believe this digital census, once completed, will be the best census to date in the history of the country. And I think we're beginning that process today, so we all deserve commendation. Let me say a big thank you to all of our development partners for their contribution to this, particularly to the government of Sweden, which has been one of the biggest contributions to date, the World Bank Group, I hope, and then other partners. We know that we're still reaching out to partners. We have a budget of 18 million, and then to the government of Liberia as well. Save the best for the last. The government has disbursed around 1 million to the census process. We have in this year's budget 2 million. Budget that just passed the 526 million. We have on the PSIP, Public Sector Investment Program, 2 million for the census. So that formally brings government contribution to date to 3 million. Government had committed previously 6 million. We've budgeted 3 million. We're working assiduously to ensure that we can meet those targets. You know, you all can understand the fiscal situation of the country. It's possible windfall revenues that we're not budgeting. We just passed the budget, extraordinary discussions of the legislature to ensure that we pass a national budget that is closest to our real revenue potential. This is what we've achieved. 526 is a revolutionary number in the history of public financial management in Liberia. So we're glad we have that. We try to execute that credibly so that entities can have allocations enshrined in that budget. And in that, among those allocations is 2 million for the census. So we have to work to ensure that on a priority basis, because time is already of the essence here, that those resources are made available for the census process. So DG, you have my assurance as chairman of the board to work very hard to ensure that we can deliver on our commitment in the budget. The importance of this exercise can never be underscored for our government. We've launched a proper agenda for prosperity and development, and in that document, the data predicates upon data from the previous census. And so what we're looking to do is to have updated data infrastructure on which the PAPD can premise. We're moving toward a data-centric, what I call data-centric governance, meaning the policy decisions that the country makes, that the government makes, have to be based on reliable data. You know, and we have to find a way to disaggregate that data across the country. And so we fully understand the importance of this exercise, and we're enjoining on all government ministries and agencies, all government officials, that this exercise is critical for national development and has to be collectively owned by all. So census, you know, the data, when you talk about data infrastructure, is a boring thing. It's people, you know, it's about crunching numbers, it's about analysis, so sometimes it's not exciting. Director General, you have to find exciting ways to communicate data to the public to win more ownership and more support from government officials. I think this is key, because whether it's the national budget, whether it's planning for education, it's planning for health, we need to use data to identify the gaps, to know whether programs are reaching targeted communities, to know whether those programs are having impact. And the beginning of all of that exercise begins with a very good census, from which extrapolations based on the numbers that come out of a census exercise can be made by economists, by analysts, to do further planning in health surveys, and beyond census, LISGIS also does a number of other activities in the agriculture sector. When I was a consultant in the Ministry of Finance, I relied heavily on the data from LISGIS, the agricultural production data, to write the constraints analysis. So I know data, they don't just do census, they do a lot of other things, but sometimes the public is not aware of these things. The demographic health surveys also, how we understand the whole demographics of our health system, our education, LISGIS is at the center. I think what we as a government need to do is to empower LISGIS more, to mainstream LISGIS into the center of government policy making. Because it appears that even by their physical location here, they look like on the margin, they're going to the ocean. so sometimes we need to bring them back into the center because they are at the center of development. So, Director General, on behalf of the President and the Cabinet, I would say that your case will be made strongly. And now that we're having the census exercise going, your allocations and other your engagement with other stakeholders, other sectors should be made prominent. And I think you have that commitment from the Ministry of Finance. The other point I want to underscore is that as we go forward with this exercise, I think I stressed it earlier, we have to communicate to the public. We're in a time, in a digital era, where communication is becoming more important than policymakers want to accept. So it does appear that in the policy formulation process, the communication architecture is more paramount than we like to imagine. So it's not about, communication now is not just about reporting things that are happening. It has to be about preemption, about things that are about to happen, preparing the public's imagination for things that are coming. So we have to find a way to prepare the public's imagination for the census that is coming, so that they anticipate what does that mean. As a citizen, what am I required to do? What is my honest contribution to have a fair, reliable database that you're correct? So I think that packaging has to happen clearly. All of it, we should communicate with our people. What is the census? What is it? So that their behavior toward that can be positive, and we can minimize the mistakes and the errors in the process. So I would look forward to working with you on a very strong communication program across the country, particularly in the rural areas where which are inaccessible. People should have information about timing of events and whether they have a role. I think let's use this as a new beginning and to build stronger momentum. I would like to say again, on behalf of the President, we pledge.
Folks, you just heard the minister, and I told you this is about the census. And basically, what he said, communication is more important than most policymakers want to believe. And at the end, he's saying that because the census, as I stated, they utilize the census to borrow money. So for them, it's very critical. It's very critical. So he put much more stock into it. Now, let's go back to the issue of harmonization process. You're going to be cutting people's salary. The people whose salary you're going to be cutting. The people, you know the Liberian culture. Other people, people are hanging on everyone. Okay? So if you're going to cut somebody's salary, it was months and months ago, on Dallas Dillon teaching, there was a young man that came up there and brought the same thing up. If you're going to be touching people's salary, you have to inform them. You have to have a constant communication with them for them to see reason, to believe that what you're doing, even though they're going to be hurt for the short term, but in the long run, they're going to benefit. And this is what the government has failed to do. The government has failed to tell people that the others say that we're gonna be cutting salary. Yes. Why are you cutting salary? You must have a reason. Well, the wage bill is too high. Fine. Why is it too high? Well, when we came in, we brought in more people. Fine. So what is it? How do you rectify that? You're not going to fire anybody. So we're saying, since we're not going to fire people, we're not going to let people from the previous region go and previous region go so we can bring in sedition. Since we want to keep everybody, we're going to go ahead and cut everybody's salary so we all can have enough to share around. Those are the kinds of explanation this government should have been given. Now they have not done so. And here we have it. Here we have it. The people who are responsible to collect revenue for the Republic of Liberia, from where they're supposed to be able to pay salary, be able to pay bills. These people are saying they're going to go slow. The next thing is it might be in the street. First question I ask, is this a way you negotiate with the government nowadays? By threatening protests and what have you? No. But let's turn it around. If the government, I believe strongly that if this government have gone out and just as Minister Tua just told us how important it is that they should be in the front to tell the public what is coming in the future, communication-wise. You heard him. So it's not that they don't know. These people are quite aware of it. But you can't pick and choose where and how and when to distribute information. Especially information that has something to do with daily living of our people. You heard the minister. I'm not making it up. I'm not accusing him because he has the abilities. Why is it that you're going to be cutting people's salary? Why each of the ministries have not had some sort of a meeting where people will be informed of the importance of these people having the kind of information? And let's have a dialogue. You explain to them it's going to come. First thing is, these people are going to blame you. Say, okay, why you employ so many people when you don't have money? And then you be truthful with them. We won an election. Election have consequence. We won an election. And there were people that were campaigning for CDC. And these people, they have the ability to do what? We don't want to live. We don't want to fire people to bring in new people. So we make sure these people come in to fill in the gap. And because the gap has been filled, but there's not enough money to go around. So we want everything to be stable, to stabilize the situation. We want everybody to have a pay cut. If you continue to explain to people from time to time to time, sooner or later they're going to get it. Let me read this. This is dangerous. This is dangerous. The dehumanization stuff is very dangerous for the country. Because if we're not careful how we implement this, you're asking for more corrupt behavior. Far from that. In fact, let's go worse. The security apparatus, they're not getting paid. If they're not getting paid, what do you think they're going to do? And these are people that are charged with the security of the country. Folks, we have to be serious about these things. We can't just get up and say, oh, we're going to cut people's salary and move on with it. Let me read this. The revenue generation arm of the government may likely experience an unprecedented collapse if plans by employees of the Liberian Revenue Authority to stage a go-slow action against the recently introduced salary harmonization, which they say will barely affect their income, goes into effect. So these people are still waiting for information. These, instead of finding enemy of the state, as I always say, I will continue to say, instead of finding enemy of the state, fire for fire. Go to the ministry since you have the ability, and I'm talking about my own brother Eugene Fakon. Go, you have the ability to speak, and people listen. Go to the ministry and explain why you're going to cut people's salary. You know, cutting salary, you know what people say? Yeah, cut that man's salary, don't cut my own. Everything, even here in this country. Here in California, they got a lot of homeless people. But guess what? Nobody, like the area I'm living right now, got a big field back there. And they say we're going to put a housing community, a housing unit over there for homeless people. They say, no. We don't want it in our. Nobody wants something like that in their year, but they want to help. It's the same thing here with this money issue. You're going to be cutting people's salary, and you're not informing them effectively. Because if this information was out there and put it into the mind of these people, that this thing, because I believe, this is what I believe, and people can call me names or whatever, that's up to you. But this is what I believe. The government has already employed thousands of Liberians since they came to power. No money now to pay for these people. You can't fire them because they already got a job. So what are you going to do now? You're going to have, and that's exactly what they're doing, bring the wages down so that everybody will get paid. And then the international community will tell you, say, okay, the wages are coming down, so we're going to give you, if we can, we'll help you whatever area we can help you with. The Senate and the representatives are also, I believe, they're in the process of reducing their salary as well. But this little agency, the linchpin of the Liberian money business, they must be informed. Let me read on. Okay, you're leaving. Bye-bye. Somebody telling me goodbye. Okay, goodbye. That's fine. That's fine. I'm telling you right now, when it get hot, then I tell people start coming in. Blow, 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 blow. It ain't hot yet. It ain't hot yet. But if we're not careful, it's going to turn against us. Let me read on. The LRA, being the tax collector of the government and expected to help raise over US $575 million for the 2019-2020 national budget that was recently passed by the legislature, may not be discharged effectively, as employees have already disputed circulated call for the go slow action beginning Monday, October 21st. If these people decide to do this and no money coming in, you can forget about harmonization, because you ain't got money. How you fulfill the budget? And it's based, I truly believe, it's based on information. The failure of this government to pass the important information to those who's going to be affected. I hope, because if we're not careful, those who have money will start paying private security to protect them. Now you get where I'm going with this. Because the security sector themselves might not be getting money. So they go to somewhere where they can get paid. And then those people who want to start any kind of foolishness in that place, they got money, they can get people. These are the kinds of stuff the information process will help. You have to make every one of them that are going to be affected, you have to make them to be part of that process. That's information. Let me read on. The entity version is to be professional revenue administrator adhering to the international standard, as well as to serve as a model for revenue collection and service delivery. The mission is to professionally, fairly, transparently, and effectively collect lawful revenue, as well as facilitate legitimate trade and social protection for the people of Liberia. But the spring in the country economy, civil servants, including those in the security sector, are resolving to protest in order for their concern to be addressed. Folks, y'all don't want to listen to me, oh. Y'all don't want to listen to me. A young now, a security people start going in the street. Yesterday was a student on behalf of the teacher then. They're talking about university students want to strike. They want to go in the street protest because of the university teacher not getting paid. It's coming down to you too. So the best thing you can do to avoid any other issues, explanation, information, not just going on air and blah, blah, speak all those big book, but you must engage those apparatus that perhaps if they don't get money, they can derail the peace in our country. The harmonization issue is not easy, but they will only make it easy. I give you an example. If somebody is paying you, out of a sudden they say, oh, I'm going to call your salary. The first thing you want, the first question coming in your mind is, why? Am I not doing a good job? Then I say, yeah, you're doing a good job. But why? Why you want to come on salary? Then you have to go into details. Mr. Toe, I'm cutting your salary because, for example, this is an entity. We sell, the money come in, I pay you. The other one, I put it back in the business and keep some for raining day. In this situation, I don't even have nothing to keep. I can't close the business down because if I close it down, I will close the door and that way I will not employ you. So the best thing we can do for all of us, because I ain't got nothing's being saved, I have to put money back into the business so you will continue to work here and get paid. So why don't I don't want to lay you off. I don't want to get you out of here. I want you to work. But let me pay you less money now until the business get to a certain point we can bring back your money. That's how you start communicating with these people. And this is not being done. This is not being done. So there are certain people, when they are protesting the street, they start flocking children and thinking that by them brutalizing people, carrying on the what they believe the government want, perhaps they will be singled out by their commanders and things like that and give them pay raise or make sure they get something handsome coming to them. So these are the kinds of stuff that I'm talking about. And nobody want to listen because it's not important to them. That's okay. It will be. About 2 or 3 days, maybe a little bit, 2 or 3 days ago, I came on air here and I told you that Liberia, because I believe I was one of the first people that read it, Liberia was not being held as the world #1 in helping strangers. When I was talking about that, nobody, if somebody wrote and say, yeah, they're in total. Yeah, you know, all over and people reading about it, people writing about it now. When I tell you something, you're going to listen here, it come in. This is why sometimes some other people come and they call me crying tired. The person in the town crying. So, but just of all from the countryside, you get in the evening time. We got radio in town at that time. So the town cry will stay in the middle of the town and start giving the news of the day and start giving the news of tomorrow. This, I'm telling you right now, nobody want to listen. Nobody want to listen. That's okay. But if we don't have these kinds of things to inform people, and I played the minister video to show you that he has the ability to do exactly what he did here. He has the ability to actually come out, and start informing people. First of all, when you do that, you gain the trust of the people. Second, if you do that, people believe in you, and then when you say it next time, they will say, oh, fine. But you won't tell nobody anything. Every day, every other week, the president flying out of Monrovia. And people know to fly, that's not small money. When president traveling from here and there, he carry 4, 5, 6, 7 people with him. Where the money coming from? People know. They're not stupid. Some of these people that are collecting the taxes, they know how much money is coming in. And then you're going to tell them, say you want to cut their salary. You must inform them. You must educate them. Despite the fact that you're bringing in this much money. Open the book. Transparency. That's the only thing that's going to help us out. Because if these people say they want to go slow and they are successful in keeping their salary, the next group want to go slow as well. Why, if it becomes the security apparatus of the country, want to go slow? What do you do? We got so many things that are happening in our country. Communication is the process. But I keep telling you guys this, and nobody want to listen to me. That's okay. I will continue to say it too. Because tomorrow, when the time comes, I want to stand here in this public medium and play some of my video and say, I told you so. I told you so. Because these things, believe me, even in your own house, in your own household, you can be the best parent if you don't have communication with your kids. They will not understand what you're doing. They will not understand the value of the money that you're giving them. And they will just utilize it or do whatever, lavish, whatever they want to do with it. Because they have no clue how the money coming in. But if you communicate with the kids, first you went to high school, up the hill, downhill, in the snow, no shoes, how difficult it was, dog running behind you to get that high school certificate. Then you go to college, whole day you eat from here and there. You telling all these things to them to know the value of the money you're giving them. So that when they go out to spend that money, they're not spending their foolishness. Because that money now has value with it. With you explaining to them how you got that money, they're now going to attach certain sentiment to that money. It's the same thing here. The president of the Republic of Liberia should give a major speech on this harmonization issues to explain to his children the importance of all of us working together to accept this harmonization. To explain to his children that now things are going to be hard. Look around you. Cup of rice. I don't know what the price is, but the price is going up. Look at gasoline. Prices are going up. And the president have to explain to them that these things are not just necessarily happening here in Liberia. They're all over the world, connected to the global situation. They might not understand it. But if the president just accept this and explain to people, get on the airway or find means and explain to them what is happening, they will respect it. Even if it means tightening their belt, they will understand. But you're asking the person to tighten their belt. You're asking the person you're going to have harmonization, we're going to call your salary. The next thing you hear, president coming from Ralphie, everybody coming from the airport, all dancing and carrying on. When the president coming down from the plane, 25, 30 people, and they're not stupid. They know when you're traveling with the president, that pat down. And not only that, when you're traveling with the president, where the money coming from to pay for hotels and all these kind of stuff? They're not stupid. So they start asking questions. You want to cut my salary? Where I have to buy food, I have to send my kids to school. They're going to be affected. But if you explain to them, giving them the cushion, let them believe you that this is going to be hard for all of us. Let the president start traveling on first class, whatever, passenger plane or whatever. He said, tell you, look, I don't even ride my plane again, because things are hard. Then when you come up and make these pronouncements, people say, yeah, you don't suffer a little bit. They think we'll get something at the end. But if they don't expect something at the end, why you want them to give us something now with nothing in coming back? Folks, it just common human sense. But I'm saying that, I'm singing the song again. Nobody listening to me. That's okay. And because people are not listening to me, I'm not going to be cussing people. No, I'm not going to do that either. I will tell you what I believe. So tomorrow when things start going downhill, they will say, oh, CDC this, oh, CDC that. Instead of sedition themselves to put pressure on this government, to put pressure on those who have the information, to pass the information on to people. Eugene Falcon, one of the best orators as far as I'm concerned. A man can sit down here and get in the studio and blah, 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 and then you're there. Let Eugene Falcon start going to the ministries. Oh, Eugene Falcon coming. Let it be Eugene Falcon coming. And he gets there and explain to them. Because people will listen to him. People listen to him. And let him explain the process. All these people need is the process. Why? Why is this thing going to be affecting me? Why is it that my son, my daughter, my family will not get what they usually get? Why is it we're going to cut down on the bag of rice we usually get? Why is it that we're not going to be able to get fish today? Why is it that we're not going to get the kind of food that we usually eat? Why? And the government need to explain to them why. This is what the government is not doing. Let me read on. People are getting angry in our country. And I keep saying, I was in Liberia last year. Liberians, it seemed to me that they're very much patient. If you don't lie to them and tell them the truth, anybody for that matter, if you tell the person the truth, they might be hurtful. The truth can hurt. But at the end, they will understand that you're not lying to them and that you don't have magic wand to make anything happen. But don't expect them to say, oh, but the people know we're not magic, we can't make magic to bring anything here. No. Explain to them. No magic. But look at since the government came to power. Look at the life before of some of the government officials and look at the life now they have. The life before, and this is happening in Liberia. It's not in isolation. They all know each other in our city. The life that you used to hang with them before, the life they have. Look at the life they have now. And then they're coming to you. The small little money you're making, they say, we got to cost some more. And the person telling you why. They don't have to take what you have. That's fine. But what I'm suggesting is that you must find somebody. You must find one, either way, to inform the people of reality. Of reality. This is the mistake the government from past administration continue to make. Expecting the people to, they will know. The people know we're not stealing anything. The people know rice price high. They're not we don't want cause it from the international community. I mean, the rice from China or whatever is high. Yes. If it's high, I understand. But you're going to be cutting their salary. But at the same time, when you're cutting the salary, the rice price is not going down. The gas price is not going down. Because you don't have control of that. Those prices are set by the international standard. So that's the kind of information you need to pass on to your people. So they will know that not because you're stealing, that's why they can't get what they want. Or that's why they're not getting what they're supposed to get because you're taking it for yourself. You have to always, don't assume that you know. Don't say, oh, the person supposed to know, man. Yeah, but look at me. I ain't doing nothing. The people know. They see me every day. I go on the football pitch. They must say we talk every day. They know. Don't assume. I gave you an example just recently. The student riot. The student protest. Somebody went, got a video from Ellington and injected that video into the present situation. And up to this point, the government, I've not heard the government trying to disabuse people about that video. Somebody was able to put in it and people start believing it. People start believing it. So you can't assume that, oh, this thing here, the people know. Let me read on. Enough is enough because we have come to realize that the LRA cannot help us out of the crisis in any way or form. So we need to stand together as family. Yesterday, circulation quote the employees. The employees are saying these things. These are the people that are there to collect your money. These are the people. And here's the thing here: when they say they want to go slow, what mechanism do you have? What other form you have to say somebody way in Butuo or somebody way in B.I. Johnson that collecting money? That you can't, you should collect $50 now, you reporting 25 or tell you that you tell you say why? You tell you no customer. What you say, you dare to see it? Why you're always creating this kind of thing to hurt our people? These are the kinds of stuff. But if you inform them, you have to make these people feel that this country, the survival of this country depends on their hard work. Some of them just they say, oh, they're working. But if the government, the leadership themselves, continue beating in these people's head, look, my man, we thank you. The kind of job you're doing here, nobody able to do it, my people. We depend on you. We're begging you. You please bear with us. How your thing will come to power and try to hurt people. But things are rough out there. And all we're trying to do is to stabilize the situation. But we can't do this thing alone. We need your help. When you start preaching like that to the people every day, when you start, people will be laughing at you. Oh, the government part, you're going around begging people, telling people sorry every day. They'll be laughing at you. But when things start getting hot tomorrow, the sensible people, the intellectual among us will say, but wait a minute. The people started informing us for a very long time that this thing was coming. So why were you not prepared? They will start questioning each other. And this is how you get people on your side, by giving them information, truthful information of what is coming tomorrow. The minister told you already. And my problem with the minister, the reason why I'm blaming the minister, because he's being selective. He wants to credit certain information as being most important information to disseminate to the Liberian people. And certain information, it doesn't matter. And this, I say, is wrong. Your interest for the census, and we saw that the minister was anxious to pass that information on to the Liberian people, which is very good. But what does that information, what does it do for him? It gives him the ability to borrow. It gives him the ability to engage the international partners of Liberia, because he will utilize that census, the data from that census. That's how he goes and conveys these people X, Y, and Z. And therefore, he's going to make all of the ministers to be, he said it at the end, all of the ministers to be part of the information process. But when it comes to the harmonization, I don't hear anything. You see where I'm going with this, folks? So I'm just saying, on this Friday afternoon, folks, it's just terrible. Let me read some more. Okay. The RA employee, in a heavily heated and dissatisfaction tone, said that the government continued to cut their salary. How many times the government have cut their salary? I don't know. Continue to cut their salary after the harmonization exercise, which many of them have said left them far below their previous earning. You can't force this on people. That people, you do this kinds of stuff. They're already angry. And what do you think you're going to do to the police? You're going to cut their salary as well? What do you think you're going to do to the army, to the SSS, to the people who are protecting the president? What are you going to do? You're going to leave their salary alone? Because Liberian people are going to see it. This is it. The Liberia that you're leading today is not the Liberia Turbo they were leading. I can stay right here and do research about Liberia, and I'll find out if the moment that BBC stuff came up about Liberia being number one in helping stranger, it beat me right away because I'm connected with them. I look in there and see it. The first, oh wow. So nowadays, you can't do these things in isolation. Anything you do, especially in public entity like the government, you try to hide it, you're fooling yourself because you're not alone in it. So your best bet is to be truthful as much as possible. As much as possible. Because why? The truth will set you free. Samson told. Let's listen to this. Let's listen.
Don't disrespect me because I get on papa. You will not disrespect because you see me in papa. Don't disrespect me because I get on papa. You will not disrespect because I will on donga. We not build it, but we can make it happen. We not millionaire, but we can keep it popping. We not build it, we can make it happen. We not millionaire, but we can keep it popping.
So let's go back onto that. Let's go back onto that, folks. I'm telling you, people are not listening right now. It's getting there. It's getting there. It's getting there. Samson told LeBron Pod Radio. Let me read on. These are some of the things the employees of this LRA are saying. And they're not, those are the brave people. There's some of them that I don't even want to talk. Listen to this one here. Some of us were earning as per our qualification. You see that? That's the first thing the person said. Oh. He said some of them. He said we are earning based on the qualification we presented to 77 agency, and they accepted that. Based on the qualification and position over US $1,000, besides the Liberian dollar component of our salary. But after the harmonization, we saw our salary. We saw ourselves making US $325 with gross reduction in the Liberian dollar. So you see the pay cut they got. The pay cut they got. After cutting people's salary, and the president continued to fly out of the country. That money though, and when he's going, he take people with him. That money. The president has a duty to fly. The president has a duty to go to other places and try to seek investment. Whether from Mwempliwe, from Total, it doesn't matter. But when you take the huge amount of people with you, it costs money. And these people are saying, you're cutting our salary. We are collecting the revenue of this country. We're collecting the revenue of this country. And we're giving it to you. You can do audits around here. We don't take 5 cents. I'm paraphrasing, folks. I wasn't there. But when we give you the money, look what happened. Yeah, again, let me tell you again. These people were in Liberia 2-3 years ago. They saw most of these government officials. They were living with them. They knew who they were. They're looking at them now. They're living with them now. They know who they are. They know their condition from condition 2 years ago to condition today. And you're telling the person that was making $1,000 to now make $325. And you want the person to continue to working the same kinds of work they used to do when they were making $1,000. You want them to do the same thing. You must engage these people. Right now it's LRA, But it could be security people tomorrow. And this is my fear. Because if the security apparatus, if they start being affected by these kinds of stuff, how long before they say, forget it, I can't do that. I can't support my family doing this thing. So they start going to private security agency. And you got some people that got money in our country. They start getting a lot of security people, former government security agency, security officers start coming to them for work. They start employing them. You see where I'm going with this? But if the government takes their time, you're cutting the people's salary already. Don't get angry with them. If they complain, meet with them. The president must do the work of having, even if it's a weekly briefing, instead of Falcon coming out with fire, or meeting fire and things like that. Let the president have fire chat. Let the president have conversation with the Liberian people. Let the president talk to the people if it means weekly. They don't hear you. You're the father of the nation. They don't hear you. The people they hear, they don't like what they're hearing from them. Everybody looking for enemy of the state. Everybody that talking for you, they're looking for the government will survive. If you come out to me and telling me that this government gonna survive, did I say the government wasn't gonna survive? I'm not your problem. And I shouldn't be your problem. And those of us that are on the platform from time to time will always make sure we preach peace. Because to come out and say, oh, the government not doing it, the government, you remove what? That's my job to remove anybody? The people elected them. But it should be my job. It should be my job to make sure that our government continue to function. I will now open the line for the 12 people that are here watching me. This is not a sweet subject tonight, but for me it's very important. Whether people turn off their Facebook page and not even watching me, I will still say it. It's not a matter of how many people watch me, but I must beat this drum. Because why? Liberia is all we have. Today is people that are working for the Reveling collection people. Tomorrow, the police people. Because most of the time when they're getting good money, when they're getting good pay, they will not brutalize anybody. Most of the time brutalization comes about if they want to show tough. Oh, let me do well, yeah. The people said, oh, we're gonna deal with the people. So they can be recognized. And the fact that your salary is being cut, it's funny though, but that's true. Let me just give you something. And excuse my language. Your small children they play, you're just giving the government hard time, because you're in the street, so the government got to pay money for this and that. That's why we're not getting paid. You see where I'm going? They flout. They start whipping the children. Or start whipping whoever is in the street. Because the government saying that people send them. The people who trying to start trouble sending the people to do these things. So that's what we get. Let me open the line. Samson told Labron Public Radio. And tell me what you think. But before I do that, though, let me see if I can connect my phone. Once again, Samson told Labron Public Radio. Let's do this.
You must not disrespect because I will on don't
folks, that's my number there, 916-533-2048. Give me a call and tell me what do you think about what I'm saying here this evening. It's Friday evening, folks. Some of us not going to be here that long, but a very true statement, folks. We have to do what we can to make sure that these things they don't get out of hand. You already have the demonstration here and there. We cannot afford to miss these things, and I'm saying, and I'm suggesting to you that we can avoid all of these things just by simply communication. You can't get tired. You can't get tired telling people one thing over and over. You cannot, because you're running an institution, and the institution is not somewhere where you should be tired trying to pass information on. You have to always try by all means to explain to people. All right, folks. Samson to LeBron Public Radio. I'm giving a signal now because we have to go somewhere this evening too. Anyway, I'm giving a signal by the kids. So yeah. Okay. So anyway, what time is it? All right. Okay. We will call this short one here tonight. And tomorrow I'm going to be having Mr. William Yanu here will be my guest. I hope to get all of my stuff going, my camera and things like that, because it's already getting stuck. I'm not too sure why, but we'll work on that and see. So hopefully we will be able to bring Mr. Yanu on tomorrow morning. Hopefully we'll have the program around 9 o'clock. Mr. Yanu is one of the former leader and outstanding member of the Jida community in the diaspora here. He has also gone home to work. Bill, he's an engineer, by the way, and he has gone home to do a lot of work for the building of Liberia. He has participated in rebuilding of Liberia several times. He has gone home and did some serious work. Hopefully he will tell us tomorrow some of the things that he did when he went home. So, but we will have him on here, and then from there, conversation, we will see what we can do about that. All right. I want to thank all of you again that continue to watch us. We say thank you very much. We really appreciate it. I'm not too sure why my show is the video getting stuck tonight. But I'll work on it. Hopefully we find means, and try to resolve that. It's been a wonderful evening. We'll say thank you very much, and good night, folks.
Don't disrespect me because I get on papa. You will not disrespect because you see me in papa. Don't disrespect me because I get on papa. You will not disrespect because I will on donga. We not build it, but we can make it happen. We not millionaire, but we can keep it popping. We not build it, we can make it happen. We not millionaire, but we can keep it popping. I go, back then I go, and the building's on me. Back then I go, and the building's on me.
Angane mbeyo, kanye boruzu kuona veriyo. Oji besayo, nukuro boruzu kuona veriyo. Angane mbeyo, kanye boruzu kuona veriyo. Angane mbeyo, nukuro boruzu kuona veriyo. kuria kwa ya seba ona na aya ma lokolo mane sikolo mwa ye poza ne kriku ya moreu lokolo tali e bolu suku ogere yo omo ya lokolo kete tu lo ni doro Matipi, enana, monyoka por kanama. Yekare matipi, enana, sono sere kanama. Pale pepi kuna, inana, pale waki kanama. Paye jibo basogo, zakati ko pale monyo basogo. Basogo, Zagati go, but I'm on your basogo. Tomo wana, but I tomo wana, or a belt dancing on. Tomo wana.